Live states and the bluegrass state. This is your two dads. Two real dads giving you the real news.
Like the president of the United States has to make a tough choice to replace the first black female vice president or keep his pet rock. Good morning, everybody. I am JJW. This is Deacon. We are your two dads. We meet here Monday through Friday at exactly 8 o'clock in the morning to drink coffee and talk about the news. You might be experiencing some sort of temporal phenomena as our planet moves through the galactic the hemispheric coronal mass ejection.
Time is a construct of humans, all right? It doesn't exist. Time is
imaginary.
Construct. Yes, it only happens wherever you're at. It's local.
It's only 8 o'clock because we agree that it's 8 o'clock. Just like your money in your pocket is valuable, only because we pretend it's valuable.
I used to make this joke on radio quite a bit, if it was like Thursday and, I was making a joke about wanting it to be Friday. I would always say, twice a year, most Americans just agree that it's an hour earlier or later. We just all agree that, okay, it's not 7 o'clock now, it's 6 o'clock. That's what it is. So I said, if we wanted to, if we all agreed that it was no longer Thursday and it was Friday, we could take a weekend, it's Friday, so
all we have to do is agree. But, like so many things in life, we just can't. We just can't agree.
Me and you agree on everything.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
That just threw him completely off. Are you all right there, JJ?
No, I pulled up the Rumble page so that I could see if there's any comments, and then my brain turned off because I heard you and me talking, but it wasn't my mouth, and I was like confused.
Well, good morning. Hope you had a good day yesterday. It's finally getting sunnier in Kentucky. How's things in Texas? On this February 1st is National Texas Day.
It's National Texas Day for the rest of the United States. Yeah. For Texas, it's National Texas Day every day. Every single day.
That's a perfect answer from
I love Texas. Yeah.
You all do.
I don't know. Like nothing's burned down yet. The feds haven't stormed in and tried to tell us what to do today.
All right. Well, good. It's nice and sunny in Kentucky today.
Yeah. It's a little chilly. It's a little chilly, but it's not cold.
Yeah. It'll be.
You got a pond nearby where you drive? Because we have a pond. On the way to work for the kids. And every morning right now, it's like 30, 40 degrees or whatever. And the sun comes up, it hits the pond, and the surface of the pond turns to steam. So it looks all cool and spooky right as I'm driving the kids to school because the pond is like covered in misty, hazy steam.
Have you never seen where I live? If I have a pond?
Yeah.
We have a couple of ponds around here.
But I don't know if that's on your way to work.
Yeah, on my way to work. Well, yeah, actually, I cross over a river on my way to work.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Our pond is called Kentucky Lake. It is the second largest man-made structure or man-made lake east of the Mississippi River. And it's just a small pond. It covers over 4 million acres.
That's a lot of pond.
So it's a little bitty pond.
That's good.
Yeah, no, it's we had a dense fog advisory here last week because it had gotten so cold and there was impacted snow and ice on the ground for about a week. So the ground gets cold, and then we had this warm air move through.
Yeah,
and it got warm real quick because in Kentucky it literally went from 6 degrees to like 60 degrees in a day.
Yeah.
All right, so we had so much fog around here. It was so thick because of that. And the lakes always have fog. We always have fog advisories around here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's common.
I don't know why I'm telling you about this. I remember like many years.
Cool. I like
yeah. So like when I was like 20, there was a game called Silent Hill, and like the whole kind of atmospheric
Yeah.
thing about this game was
foggy.
that it was
Yeah.
super foggy everywhere. And
Yeah.
I remember driving to work once. I was driving up, I was on I-10 West, and they had this cut and shoot kind of thing that it was a big bridge. It was because I-20 is a major highway, and this big bridge would leave the highway and would cross over the highway. So it was an overpass,
Yeah.
but it was like,
Yeah, like
it
an
would go
overpass.
like super high, like in the air. And it was so foggy one morning that as you're exiting, like the top of the bridge, you can't see it. And then as you go up the thing, you can't see the ground that you came from. So it was, I always thought it was like, it's just really, really cool that you're like driving through like a scary movie or a scary video game in the fog. I think it's neat.
When it snows, when it's coming down, snowing pretty good, you know, first starting and the highway's still pretty clear, but it's snowing. Maybe the snow's not sticking. I like to turn on my high beams and pretend that I'm in an X-wing and I'm flying through hyperspace. It's my favorite thing. I've done that since I was a kid, dude. I know I'm not the only one.
Yeah, of course not. No. All right. Hey, tell us about our curate our culture. Man, I'm choke on these words right here.
Okay, I can't get the song of the day is not coming up, but oh well, that's not a big deal. I can throw this up. And our songs this week are about daughters. My daughter's birthday, my little baby was 12 years old yesterday, and she's almost as tall as me. She beats me in Munchkin. You know that game Munchkin, the card game Munchkin?
Yeah.
I love that game. We've played it forever. And we have the core set that we have is Space Munchkin. And you know, it makes fun of all the space movies and stuff like that. It's fun, and the space TV shows. And Maggie beats me every time. I think she's cheating. I don't know how, but I don't know. I've looked up I've you know, you can't do that with the rule. You know, it's trying to. And
that's rules. Yes, I can.
Week, yeah. So our song tomorrow has already been picked out. It is the one that started this whole theme this week. But Stephen Curtis Chapman is a singer from my neck of the woods. He is a multi-Grammy award-winning, very famous singer, and he is from Paducah, Kentucky.
Oh, is he really?
He's right up the road. His dad owned Chapman Music in Lone Oak forever, a little offshoot of Paducah, a little town on the outside of Paducah called Lone Oak, forever. And I think it's still open. Chapman Music, his dad's probably in there. If his dad's still alive, you know, their family ran that music store, and he's in Paducah all the time. And I've seen him perform before. And, you know, even when he gets big, he still comes back. But this song, Cinderella, is one of those songs that's just, you've probably heard it before in the past, a long time ago, because it was a pretty big song. But once you hear it, you know, Dance with Cinderella.
Yeah, I was listening to it right before the show.
Yeah, such a beautiful song. Such a great song.
Curtis Chapman, like a real big, like Christian music artist.
Yeah. That's where That's what he went into. Yeah. He was a Christian artist, and I don't know how many Grammys he's won.
He's got a ton of songs, a ton of art.
Yeah, he's an excellent songwriter.
My dad's
singer. He's got a beautiful voice.
This is Daddy-Daughter Week, so if you haven't already, take your little girl out for ice cream or a sandwich or lunch and just have clock some daddy-daughter time, because one day she's going to leave you.
We have a daddy-daughter date coming up next. I think it's next week. The school has this little thing, the daddy-daughter nights.
Yeah.
And it's a daddy-daughter date night that they have games and stuff like that, so it's cute.
All right.
And
see, you turn to the thing on the main one, and now it's on, and I don't know how to turn it off. Is it this one? Turn this thing off. Can't. There. Is it gone? It's gone.
It's gone.
All right, guys. Every little girl makes their dad proud, except perhaps this one. Let's start with this story. The White House reportedly wants to. Oh my gosh, you jerk! I saw that. The White House reportedly, and when I say the White House, I mean the Biden administration, reportedly wants to replace Kamala Harris as they're concerned that Biden is in decline. and they are unwilling to address the issue with Biden and Harris, though privately they discuss their concerns, according to the White House cyber official Charlie Krager. Charlie Krager.
Cyber official?
Yeah.
Does that mean he's like AI? Is he a robot?
No, he's not.
Okay.
He's not a robot. He is
popped my
probably
image in my head.
very quickly going to be looking for a new job. So if you're if you're searching for a nearly incompetent
unemployed Charlie Krager, he's got some IT experience.
Yeah,
He's
he
good
might
with Excel.
he might gossip about your coworkers though when he's not.
He's got some social media accounts.
Yeah. White House cyber official said that the White House wants to replace Kamala Harris. Yeah. Yeah.
You turn you down a little bit when you get a chance.
Oh, now it's too high. Jeez.
I think earlier before the show, JJ was talking like this.
I wasn't
earlier.
No.
I had him turn his microphone all the way up, and now he's in presentation mode. He's blowing me away.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Let me go
We
down.
should do a whole show of ASMR. Your two dads.
Yeah.
Hi.
No, let's not do that. I don't want to do that. All right. There's a video, and we'll get to the video in just a second. It's 13 minutes long, so we can't play the whole thing, obviously. The video features a cleverly disguised James O'Keefe chatting in a coffee shop with Charlie Krager, who confirmed that he was fairly high up in ranking and fairly good at keeping secrets. Fairly good at keeping secrets. Yeah.
Fairly.
Krager said he managed security for two federal agencies, the State Department and the U.S. Agency for International Development. During their conversation, the disguised James O'Keefe asked if Biden would be the Democratic presidential nominee this November, to which Krager appeared to confirm that he would be. And Kamala Harris, will be the vice president nominee. There was a debate about removing her from the ticket, but sadly they didn't. Krager and Harris couldn't keep he said that Harris cannot keep black staff because they quit on her en masse. So so Deacon posted this earlier for in the Discord, and I watched several minutes of it. It's pretty good. Here we go. Here's James O'Keefe from the O'Keefe Media Group.
Information
About I actually share. Oh, I did have it down there. Here we go. Let me just say, you can tell from his voice, this dude is gay. Morning. Wait, what did that say?
It was do good. Hang on.
Morning,
It said,
do good.
He's with you on this.
No,
do good does not want an ASMR Your Two Dads show. Why not do good?
You can tell from this voice the dude's gay, okay? And he's obviously being tricked into a gay date with James O'Keefe. And these people fall for this shit every single time. Every single time, these people fall for this gay date stuff, and they go out on a date, and then they just yak, and then it's like, oh my God, you're James O'Keefe. Now look here, I'm gonna bigonate it. Look at this clever disguise. Clever disguise of James. He put glasses on.
I started to say, did he dye his hair?
I don't think so. I think he just he's just sitting. Maybe he dyed his hair. I don't know. Let's find out.
in terms of discussing and promoting the president's priorities.
Is he going to be the nominee?
Yes. And she will be the vice president nominee.
Yeah, I don't.
There was a debate about removing her from the ticket, but sadly they didn't.
She can't keep black
What the
staff.
fuck?
They quit on her in mass.
But with him, I mean, he's got dementia.
Yeah, well, he's definitely slowing down.
Well, they know that he.
So this fairly high up cybersecurity guy from inside the White House is confirming that Joe Biden is definitely slowing down.
Has those issues.
I think so.
But they're not willing to say it.
Shows it. And,
They're not willing to say it
correct.
publicly.
And same thing
But
with
why
Kamala
not?
Harris. Is she's not popular, but you can't remove the first black lady to be vice president from the goddamn presidential ticket. Like,
I
what
see.
kind of message are you going to send to, like, all the African American voters? How would you spin that? People would be like, what the fuck? Like she's a woman and she's multiracial. I think that they're really concerned about this.
But they won't.
Yeah. So that's the issue right there. That's the
So
issue.
he just said two separate things.
Okay.
He said the reason they don't want to do it is because you can't remove the first black lady president, right? And then in the next sentence, he says she's multiracial. So,
Sure.
I mean, we're all multiracial.
Yeah, but
One is just more dominant than the others.
You're white multiracial, so that doesn't count. You don't get to wave any flags, dude.
Oh, I'm just some dumb cracker.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're a mutt and you don't know where you come from, like me, then you don't get to wave any flags. You don't get to be on any team. You don't get to represent any big groups and blocks of people. I heard it was somewhere else, and I can't remember who was saying it, but black female voters are the most in the bag for Democrats. The most in the bag. They will always vote Democrat. You know, not 100% everybody, but like the vast majority. If you are Joe Biden, dementia-riddled, mumble-mouthed, like 80-year-old white man, possibly alive during like the Civil War or whatever.
Well, he's claimed. I mean, he was 70 years old when Strom Thurmond was born.
Yeah, right. He was best friends with the KKK. If you're that president and you hire the first black female, you get all the woke points. You get all the, whatever. You first black female vice president. You get all the points for that. And then if you fire her in your reelection bid because you suck so much and she's dumb. She's dumb and she's malicious. And she can't even keep her own staff, but that doesn't matter because the big signal, the signal that the barely paying attention Democratic voter will see is that white man fired that black VP, and then all of the black female voters will just not go vote. They will just be mad.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what will happen. So he can't replace her, except he can only replace her with a different, better black female vice president. Go ahead and name the candidate that isn't Michelle Obama, because Michelle Obama doesn't want this job. So Oprah, he can only replace her with Oprah. Yeah, Joe Biden's in a tough spot. I feel so sorry for him. Anyway, go check out this O'Keefe Media Group video. It's 13 minutes long. It is hilarious. And Charlie's going to be looking for a new job soon. Pretty sure.
Yeah. Did you see the other video I posted?
Oh, what other video did you post?
There's the one. I thought I posted the other one. Did I not post the other one?
I just see that one. Yeah, I don't see another video. If you can, I do have this story about Joe. Would it shock you, Deacon? Shock you to know that President Joe Biden follows Elmo on Twitter?
No. I mean, yeah.
Joe Biden's response to Elmo's viral online wellness check backfires as Americans fault him for their depression. So Elmo posted on Twitter. Can you do an Elmo voice? Can you do an Elmo voice?
No, I can't do an Elmo. He just kind of talks something like this, but I can't get as high as what's his name does. He just kind of cuts off his vocal cords. I can't do an Elmo.
Okay.
Good.
Elmo,
he should be able to do Kermit the Frog pretty good.
Yeah. Elmo is just checking in. How's everybody doing? To which Joe Biden.
Elmo is just checking in. Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah. Joe Biden quote tweeted him. I know it's hard. I know how hard it is to sweep the clouds away and get to the sunnier days. Our friend Elmo is right. We have to be there for each other, offer our help to the neighbor in need, and above all else, ask for help when we need it. Even though it's hard, you're never alone.
First of all, Joe Biden did not type that because it's legible. Second, it's intelligent sounding. Third, it doesn't look like somebody smashed their head on their keyboard and then hit the enter button. Okay?
Yeah.
So, red flag.
Okay. It's not really Joe Biden. but it's Joe Biden's account. It wouldn't surprise me, though, if Joe Biden has this Twitter account on his phone and he's particularly following Elmo because he wants to see, Elmo's audience.
Wants to see how he goes in potties again so he can remember how to do it himself.
Oh, boy. So people started replying, our country needs to take care of itself first. Otherwise, we'll never be able to help our neighbor. One social media user added,
Elmo, what are you going to do? We're going to start sending billions of dollars to Sesame Street, you asshole?
Biden is letting the U.S. be destroyed. This isn't make-believe. He's just like Elmo, a puppet. Remember when you told our kids they were going to die? That's another. Remember the red speech, the Nazi speech you did?
Yeah, we were all going to die. All of my kids were going to die.
Yeah.
Screw you.
Yeah. So Joe Biden and Elmo, it backfired. Twitter users, they're not taking his baloney.
Out of those two right there, choose out of those two pictures, which one of those has the higher IQ? 5, 4.
I think it's
3,
a straight tie.
2.
It is.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with Elmo on that one.
Yeah, maybe. All right.
He's a pretty smart cookie.
Okay, we got some news on the listen. I know some of you are not interested in Fani Willis and Nathan Wade and
Fanny.
Is it?
No, it's not. They said it again the other day on the news. They don't call her Fanny, they call her Fani. Fani, yeah, Fani Willis.
Fani?
I'm like, she's from the South.
It's not that.
If
much.
she wasn't a DA and she worked at Burger King, they'd all go Fanny, Fanny,
for
Fanny.
real. You can't.
We don't say Fawny in the
I've been to
South.
Georgia.
That word doesn't fucking exist.
No.
Fawn is a baby deer.
Yeah.
All right. There's no Fawny. You know, if they say that's not a word that exists in the South, we say Fanny. Fanny.
So we got a couple of updates here. We'll go with this one first. This is a new story from the Post Millennial. Oh, okay. Push the button over here. Wish this was easier.
Hey, there's Fanny.
Yeah. Her Fani Willis and her lover, Nathan Wade, are subpoenaed to testify in disqualification hearing. The lawsuit is filed by lawyer Ashley Merchant, who's representing the Trump co-defendant Michael Roman. Fulton County DA Fani Willis and Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade have been subpoenaed to testify in a hearing on February 15th concerning petitions to disqualify them from the 2020 Georgia election conspiracy case involving former President Trump. Let's see.
Well, you know, I've just got one thing to say about this, JJ. Fanny learned a very valuable lesson. All right.
Mm-hmm.
If you go up and punch the beehive, expect to be stung.
She's in a state that is like pretty favorable to attacking Trump. Like Governor Kemp doesn't like Trump, and it's kind of a swing state. There's big urban areas. You got Atlanta and stuff like that, but she's still stupid and not only stupid, corrupt. We'll get to that in just a second.
Dude, Atlanta is the worst city in America to drive through.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't really want to go to Atlanta.
Oh, it's the worst, dude.
The lawsuit filed by Ashley Merchant, who's representing Michael Roman, asserts that District Attorney Office is intentionally withholding information sought in Open Records Act request in advance of the upcoming hearing. Deke, I have to take a phone call.
Okay. Right now? All right. I don't know what JJ's talking about in this story. So I'm going to remind you to like and subscribe to Your Two Dads. Go over to, hang on, let me see if I can get rid of this. Go over to our Discord server and say hello to us over there. We like to talk and share memes, and I've got a lot of cool conspiracy theories that JJ doesn't ever watch. So
that's not true.
And then we'll talk about stuff from the show. Sometimes we talk about stuff from the show as well. We're not, and if you completely disagree with some of the things that we say, please talk to us. We're not those people. We're not everybody else. I might not agree with you, but I'll respect your opinion and at least listen to you. If you're a stranger, if you're JJ, I'll just tell you you're a dumbass, and I
Yeah.
think your opinion's stupid.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
that's
You'll be like-
because I've
you'll be
known
like-
him for a long
I'll be
time.
like, Deagle post something, and I'll look at it and be like, this doesn't make sense, and you'll be like, whatever. Of course, you would think that. Anyway, so apparently the DA's office is withholding information that was sought in an open records request in advance of the hearing. The DA's office said in a recent letter that it has complied with state law, even though they have not turned over the stuff they were asked for. All right, here's one more Fani Willis story. Apparently, Fani Willis fired a whistleblower who warned her about mishandling federal funds. So now this is quite a long article. You should definitely go and go check this out. But Fani Willis
That's
warned.
pretty funny.
That's.
I think we've got a delay today. Do we have a delay?
Oh, yeah, maybe so. I don't know.
Oh, maybe not. I think that's funny. Fired the whistleblower thing. Yeah, keep going. I hadn't heard about this. I wanna hear more.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Washington
this
Free.
is good.
Okay. Washington Free Beacon on Wednesday reported that in 2021, less than a year after she got her job, Willis met with an employee in her office named Amanda Timpson, who told her that she had been demoted after attempting to stop the Willis campaign aid from misusing federal grant money meant for a youth gang preventive initiative. So there was some money that was allocated. It was under a certain, like, you can do it for these type of things. And this campaign aid was like, we're going to spend it on this. So Amanda Timpson met with Willis and said, hey, you got an aid in here that's trying to misuse funds, and that can get us in trouble. Timpson told Willis that the aide, Michael Kufi, who also was Tillis's direct manager, had planned to use part of $488,000 of a federal grant, which is earmarked for the creation of a Center of Youth Empowerment and Gang Prevention to pay for swag, including computers, travel, and according to the outlet, which was attained an audio recording of the conversation. Timpson reportedly told Willis in 2021 he wanted to do things with grants that were impossible. And I kept telling him, like, we can't do that. He told everybody, we're going to get MacBooks, we're going to get swag, we're going to use it for travel. And I said, you cannot do that. It is a very, very specific grant. And then Willis responded, I respect your assessment, adding, and I'm not saying your assessment is wrong. And then Willis apologized to Timpson and said Kufi had failed her administration, according to the report. Yet, less than 2 months later, Willis fired Timpson and had her escorted out of the building. So people inside that work for Fani Willis, work for the office of Fani Willis, have in the past tried to say, hey, you got people around here ain't doing stuff right, and it's going to get you in trouble. And Willis was like, oh, yeah, you're fired. So,
wow.
Yeah, that is the woman prosecuting this. That's the DA over the prosecutor. Her bed buddy, Nathan Wade, is the one actually prosecuting Donald Trump. Okay. Can't tell me these Fani stories aren't interesting. This little like nugget of news just keeps it keeps dropping entertaining shit.
Pretty good.
All right.
What else you got there, Fred? I got a couple of cool stories at the end.
I got some Alec Baldwin stuff. There's the ammo case. This is kind of politically charged. Apparently, California tried to pass a Senate bill internally that would make certain kind of ammunition require a background check. Yeah. Can't make guns illegal. Well, we'll just make all the stuff you put in guns illegal. And a federal judge said
they've tried to do this for many, 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 many decades. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, you could easily, not kids, I guess probably kids. Yeah, I think I bought 22 shells at Walmart. You go to Walmart always had ammo. But over the years, in the course of our lifetime, it's become harder and harder to get, you know?
You ain't got ammo at your Walmart? I don't buy
that's ammo, but there's not as much as it used to be. Not as much as it used to be there. And I know a lot of people that are shooting enthusiasts and gun enthusiasts and stuff, they load their own ammo. So
like
they've even tried to regulate some of that stuff as well.
Right.
Put, powder in the cartridges and stuff. So
U.S. District Court Judge Roger Benitez issued a decision Tuesday blocking enforcement of California's background check requirement for ammunition purchases. Said straight up, that is not constitutional. So look at California get one right. I mean, the one they got right is them definitely getting something wrong. So it's really more of like a speed bump.
Stink bug's coming back to haunt.
And we got a little update. I don't credit polls all that much in election season. Obviously, they're very charged, and who does the poll kind of matters, and who they're asking and stuff like that. But this one was kind of funny. In Nikki Haley, Nikki Haley, she's number 2 in the race for the Republican nominee. It's Donald Trump. Donald Trump and Nikki Haley almost tied, although she is like 60 or 70 points behind. In a Nevada primary poll, a survey found that Nikki Haley is polling slightly behind, not Donald Trump. She's way behind Donald Trump. She's polling slightly behind none of the above. So
hey, at least she's still got some people that are willing to vote for her.
This is a real story. It's hilarious. See, people in the Republican primary would pick nobody ahead of Nikki Haley. That hoe gotta go. All right, that's the political stuff.
Do you see once again how crazy tinfoil hat Andy over here is saying how we only have an illusion of choice, that they've told us Americans that we have a choice and we can choose who we want, but it's not really who we want. We choose who they put up there. And that is a perfect example of Americans saying, we would rather pick nobody than this person you picked for us. Give us a chance to put who we want up there, and we're overwhelmingly telling you who we want up there. Right. You just don't want that person, and you're trying your goddamnedest to make that person not able to freaking. I mean, I ain't never seen anything like this in U.S. history. And if you go back and start reading how the presidents talked to each other and some of the U.S. American presidents in their stump speeches back in the day, they weren't civilized at all. I mean, they shot each other and shit in duels. Thomas Jefferson shot like 6 guys.
There were straight up fist fights. They would have
this is nasty what they are doing to a political opponent in this country. I mean, in 100 years, they're going to be like, dude, the World War II Nazi shit. Look what they did 70 years later across the ocean. They just learned how to do it better.
Well, I mean, the Republican Party tried like hell to keep Donald Trump off the ballot, right? Really, they did. They did the entire campaign season with primary speeches, with debates and stuff like that. And they kept doing the debates, even though Donald Trump was like, I'm so far ahead, I'm not going to participate in your debate. And they kept doing the debates as though they mattered. They didn't. They never mattered. But they were like, maybe if we just float DeSantis out there a little bit more, people will finally glom on. And then everybody watched as DeSantis's campaign just completely imploded, and whatever. So like the Republican Party didn't want Trump. The Republicans do. When I say Republicans, I mean normal people that have historically voted Republican. But if Donald Trump was to set aside his own party and be like, you know what, it's going to be the Trump party, a whole bunch of people that support Trump would be like, F it, I'll vote for Trump party for president.
Here, so this is. I want to remind you of. I just want to show this video to you. Do you remember this, JJ?
Is this 2016?
When Hillary lost.
Oh, it's the end of the world. Oh, man. I paid a babysitter to be here tonight. Yeah. This is great.
She's devastated. Her whole world changed. Trump ruined a woman's life right there, and she knew it was coming to him. He's like, fucking had to be here.
She is not going to stop bitching about this for a week. The girl next to him.
Oh, God, that's the greatest video.
Hey, I found your other video. It was Josh Hawley and Mark Zuckerberg, right? There was apparently some sort of.
Oh yes, did you see that? Did you watch that?
We're gonna
watch it.
right now.
Just it's like a minute long.
Yeah, let's do it.
You can't really hear what Zuckerberg says. So Zuckerberg was up there. Just listen. Just hit play. It's good.
So the Senate was talking to these social media guys, right? And
about
Josh
the
Hawley,
damage that social media has done to our children and this online child sexploitation.
I mean, who in Mark Zuckerberg's life ever talks to him like this? Nobody. But Josh Hawley does.
Don't take any action. You didn't take any action. You didn't fire anybody. You haven't compensated a single victim. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. There's families of victims here today. Have you apologized to the victims? Would you like to do so now? Well, they're here. You're on national television. Would you like now to apologize to the victims who have been harmed by your product? Show them the pictures. Would you like to apologize for what you've done to these good people?
I'm sorry for everything that
Bro got put on blast.
No one should have to go through the things that your families have suffered. And this is why we invested so much and are going to continue doing industry-leading efforts.
You can't really hear him though.
So I'm sorry. This is a look how many cameras are there. This is nothing but a news story. Those families are not going to get anything but a half-hearted apology that was forced from that guy. It was forced from him. That's not that's an apology of somebody that got caught, and they're apologizing for getting caught, which is what people do in our society these days.
Watch the media sharks.
They go nuts. This is a freaking photo op.
Like they're like, oh, we're gonna get paid on this one.
Front page. Oh, we're gonna get 1,000 million hits on this one.
Yeah, man. Jeez. Yeah, you can't really hear him. But dude, I don't know how you handle that situation, but dude got straight up put on blast by a senator. You want to apologize? They're right behind you.
He had to stand up and apologize. Did you see him? He knew that if he did not stand up and apologize, he would have lost his shareholders. The share would have went down. Right. He had to do it. That's why I say that's bull crap, because it wasn't a real apology. It was a half-hearted, forced apology. And it was a photo op. And now America's like, oh, well, he apologized. No, he didn't.
Right. Yeah. He had his arm twisted, literally.
I've given fake apologies before, and then you as a human, you realize, hopefully you're smart enough to realize that you do need to, you feel sorry for what you actually did, and then you offer real apologies.
David says, credit to Zuck. He did stand up and apologize. The university presidents couldn't even define genocide, and they had the same opportunity that Zuck had. That's true.
I still stand by what I say. He stood up and apologized, but if he didn't stand up and apologize, the stock price would have went down and everybody would have lost money and it would have been devastating. So he had to make that was a rational
calculation.
Choice.
If I don't stand up and face these people, it's going to look real bad. But the genocide advocating presidents of these universities, that wasn't the same calculation.
And
there was no upside for them.
It was being filmed, and he could see the 1,000 freaking cameras sitting right there in front of his face.
Yeah,
that knew that he was on blast live. It was a fake apology, I think.
Oh, for sure, I believe it's fake. And so there's probably David could talk to us about this a little bit. I mean, not that he's on social media, but there's some nasty rings, like pedo rings and child predation rings and stuff. And they're promoted. They're promoted by some of these algorithms on these social media things on Twitter and Instagram.
I watched if you'll go to Twitter to Dom Lucra, he's got a video out that came out yesterday called The Tunnels, where he went to New York, and it's just a 30-minute video on those tunnels. And it's not real, you don't learn a lot but I did actually learn about some things that I had no clue about. That's made me want to look into that information more. It was interesting.
I haven't seen that. I have seen Leftism for You busting his balls constantly. It's like leftism thinks he's the grifter.
Dave says, wait a minute. Dave says, would the apology also have been fake if he had time to write one and present it a day or so later? Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but the fact of the matter is he did not do that. And there were cameras. It was live. And the senator was basically forcing him to stand up and say it. He was giving him an ultimatum.
There was no win solution there. Like that was
he did what he had to. That was a forced gun, loaded gun to his head, basically.
Yeah. Speaking of loaded guns, thanks,
100% no win.
You are so good. Speaking of loaded guns, we do have this story here. Alec Baldwin has pled not guilty to involuntary manslaughter.
Are we still talking about this?
I mean, he hasn't been convicted yet, so yeah. So they charged him.
So what
they
did
dropped
they bring
the
up now?
charges. They're finally charging him. They're finally charging him with involuntary manslaughter. He has pled not guilty. They initially dropped the charges to reopen the investigation into the gun that discharged, and then they finally are like, okay, there's no way the gun accidentally discharged. He pulled the trigger. Or he pulled the hammer while the trigger was back. And the gun.
But the question is, for me at least, is he's a lifelong actor that's been in films with guns before.
Yeah.
And the guns that he's been had, you don't just you pull the trigger on the fake gun that has the blank in it that the person that was hired, that their freaking job to do all that shit ensures that it's done.
Yeah.
And our argument was that person, obviously they had the live bullets or whatnot on the set and it was in the gun. And our argument was Alec Baldwin is responsible because we have been through gun training.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the first thing you do if someone hands you a gun?
You check that gun.
You check the gun. You check and see if it's loaded. Even I was taught that if my father stands there and I watch him take the gun, unload the gun, close it, and hand me the shotgun, it's my responsibility to open it up and look to see if the ammo is in there or not. Even though I just watched him take it out, it's my responsibility to do that.
I am the only one that touches my gun. Usually, as far as I know, sometimes once in a while at the range, my wife touches it. I'm the only one that touches it. Every day that I pick it up, I eject the magazine. I clear the chamber. I make sure.
Clear the chamber.
You must. You don't. You're responsible because you know what? It'll be the one time. Oh, I forgot to clear the chamber, and it'll be loaded.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. So this guy absolutely.
Guns are not dangerous. It's lack of gun education that's dangerous.
Yeah.
I've said that forever. Lack of gun education. I've always respected guns since I was 8 years old.
All right. I got some fun. I got one fun story, and I don't know what you have, but I got this one fun story, and we're going to talk about entertainment now. There was a movie. It was like 20 years ago. I don't know how long did this come out?
It's not long ago, dude. We're talking about 2004. So shut your face.
There is to be a sequel to 28 Days Later. Another sequel. There was a sequel called 28 Weeks Later. Did you ever see 28 Days Later?
I seen 28 Days Later. I never seen the 28 Weeks Later.
28 Days Later was this like it was a very different kind of zombie movie. Back in there was like you had the all of the classic like Romero slow zombie movies, The Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, whatever, Day of the Dead, all of those, and then 28 Days Later comes out in the early 2000s, and this was a fast zombie movie. It was actually like a bio, like instead of it being like some unnatural undead thing. It was a virus that was like rabies on steroids, and it was very virulent, very rabid, and it would drive the people that got bit crazy, and then they would run and attack. And this was before even World War Z, which was the Brad Pitt version. So 28 Days Later kind of was one of the first to have fast zombies, and then they had it was a breakout role for Cillian Murphy, who went on to be the
Cillian Murphy. He did a good job in that movie. That movie freaked me out the first time I watched it. Because
go ahead.
Well, it's because when I remember a specific scene there with the bus, there was like a bus, and I just remembered this because the damn zombies just took off running as fast as possible, and we grew up with lazy zombies and
trying to bust through the window like that.
Wow, it was crazy. It was
like,
man.
oh my God, these things are gonna get me. And
yeah, 28 Days Later was one of those that I always say that was the scary movie that actually had me, enthralled the whole time because it was different,
Danny Boyle's the director of this. He's the same director of Slumdog Millionaire. He's made a bunch of really good movies. Slumdog Millionaire is a great movie. And he made a sequel called 28 Weeks Later, which took place 28 weeks after the virulent incident. And that movie starred Robert Carlyle as the kind of protagonist, but it's the kind of protagonist that you're like, I don't like this guy. He was a coward. He was a coward, and it was really, really good. So it looks like they are talking about doing a sequel 28 months later, but enough time has now passed that they're actually going to do 28 years later, and Cillian Murphy might return to the franchise to be
that would be cool. That would be very cool. 28 years later,
years after a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, that would be great.
Very
because all we've saw is like right after, and a little bit after that, decades later would be very interesting.
Yeah. How does it go away and then you just rebuild society, or is it a persistent threat?
Right.
Like, oh, we have to just deal with these dead people all the time.
All the time now.
Somebody dies, you better burn the body.
That's great. I like that. That's a cool concept. All right. I have let me see where my story is. Okay, so this is one that I came across because I've seen this before in the past, and this has been an argument in the past, and I know you probably don't give two craps about this, but I have partook in the devil's lettuce before. I was an old hippie, and I have I have a back deformity. Hang on, let me take this off real quick. Stop sharing. I have a back deformity that I was born with. It's called lumbar lordosis. It's the opposite of scoliosis, except it's in the lower part, the lumbar region in your back, and it's the inward curvature of your back. It goes in way too far, and it's caused me all kinds of problems since I was like a kid. And I've had to go through physical therapy and all this crap, and I have pain all the time, every single day. And I don't take pills because they don't really work on me, and I've seen them kill my family members.
Right.
And so I don't take pills. And marijuana was always one of those that would give me some pain relief in my back. And I think that, with America kind of, evolving to what it is in the marijuana sense, I think that's become like yes, it is a pain reliever that can be abused like other medicines and other drugs. It's the same thing. So one of the bad things about this is that marijuana, the THC, will stick to your fat. So the fattier tissues you have, it loves it, and it just best friends, and it'll stick right to it. So the problem is, I was a daily marijuana smoker, and then when I stopped, 30 days later after I stopped and hadn't cheated, I took a test, and I still tested positive for THC. And that's the problem, is that you can go home after a hard day's work and smoke a joint and be fine, and then go to sleep and wake up and go to your job stone sober as a judge the next day and take a test, and you will test positive. If you have an accident on the job and you're forced to take a drug test, and you smoked marijuana 2 weeks before and it's still in your system, you're going to get fired. Whereas cocaine, if you took cocaine, had an accident on the forklift,
Yeah,
and then
it's gonna burn out of your system.
It's out of your system a lot quicker than marijuana is.
Right.
Well, now scientists have developed this new method to test for marijuana that's got about a 96% accuracy for recent marijuana use.
Oh,
So I look for this not only if this comes to light, not only to be used in places of employment, but law enforcement probably has already been using this for a while, to be honest with you, if they have something like this. So, I mean, that's another thing with law enforcement. They use the smell test and visual stuff. The only other cool story I had, I thought you would like this one. This one's kind of interesting. I got this one from physics.org.
You froze up.
Scientists have manufactured a surface.
You froze up for a second. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. Scientists have manufactured this surface that has this viral side properties, and it doesn't use any chemicals. So they have developed a surface that is got about a 96% kill rate on viruses. And
wow.
and it doesn't use chemicals. So basically, for a TLDR, the surface is full of needles that are 2 nanometers thick. Basically, 30,000 would fit in a hair, and they're 290 high. And they used silicon. And what it's doing is it's causing the within 6 hours, let me find out where it said that, and it was way on down in the article, but within 6 hours, the viruses it either like stabs them or it keeps them from going to other places.
Traps them.
Yeah, it traps
like dandruff
them.
in a comb.
Yeah, I thought it said it up here somewhere. It says it in there. And I read it on my phone. But what I was looking at was if it was able to. I guess it's just a smooth surface to us because it's so. Right here, the findings show that this method is extremely effective. It incapacitates 96% of viruses that come into contact with the surface within a period of 6 hours. The studies confirm that the surfaces have a viral side effort because of the ability of the needles to destroy or incapacitate viruses by damaging their external structure or piercing their membrane. Isn't that pretty cool?
That's kind of neat.
That is pretty interesting.
Seems like it would be hard to make that. Like, how would you make that?
It explains in the article they take a sheet of metal and they bombard it with the process of making the viral side surfaces starts with a smooth ions to strategically remove material. So those are a bunch of big words. Yeah, that sounds cool, huh? Ions and gamma rays and Hulk Hogan. So I thought that was pretty cool.
I love Jesus, brother.
I don't have a joke. I need to get a joke.
All right. Well, I got one.
Hey, it's funny you say that. I've been playing on my PlayStation 5. I was going through my old PlayStation 4 games, and I found my WWE 2K16 8 freaking years ago, and I've been playing the hell out of this freaking wrestling game.
I've actually also been playing a game from 2016 a lot. I don't know if I told you about this. I have this controller called Amazon Luna. Picked it up to play games on my PC, but you can just log into a website and turn it on, and you can play games on Amazon Prime or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's right. You were telling me about that.
And I have this game called The Division, which is it is from 2016, and it is the entire plot of the 2020 pandemic, except it happened 4 years earlier in this game, and it is really, really good. I think I'm gonna start doing I have another Rumble channel. I'm gonna do a complete playthrough of this game, however long that takes, on my other channel. So, 2016, before the world went woke, or early enough in the process that it doesn't suck anymore. I got a great joke. At the end of the show, we are obligated as your two dads to deliver the best joke you're probably going to hear today, or something similar, in that it's a joke. And here's mine for you. Why does a blanket make a great friend?
Because it's always got you covered.
Dadgummit. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Nice. That's pretty good.
Nice.
That's
I'm
good.
liking
Good
that.
job, sir.
All right, I'm gonna set you up for one. You should be able to get this one. What do fish smoke to get high, man?
No idea. Fish?
Seaweed, brother. Seaweed, man.
Oh, no.
That's right.
I don't know. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow, Friday, February 2nd. Also, Texas Independent National whatever day. Every day is Texas Day. And I really screwed up the end of this show.